Uh, Can't wait to see Reb's live chat.
Oh, God.
Hello, everyone. We look a little different this week. Hello, welcome back to the Holler Podcast. I think this is episode 5 or 6, something like that this season. But if you can tell, we have some special guests with us tonight. To my right is my lovely wife, Addison. Addison has joined us tonight. Unfortunately, since there was no PowderPuff race, we figured this was the good, happy medium. A good idea. Try something else out. And I am joined by 4 other people. Richard, go ahead and introduce yourself and who you have with you.
Hey everybody, Richard Wolfsford, driver of the 56 Chevy Camaro stints built for Limitless Esports. I am joined by my wife, Riley. Riley, you want to say hi?
Am I not lovely to you? Hello. Carl, you better do better than that. Okay? Gotta beat Steven.
Oh.
Oh, and as Riley introduced, this is Carl Pooler, and the driver of the 71 Chevrolet Limitless Esports Camaro, and I am joined by a magnificent model of a female individual, my partner in crime and my better half, Ashley, and she will be driving the 71 Mazda MX-5, hopefully tomorrow evening. So, again, this is the PowderPuff takeover of the BRB Holler Podcast.
Yeah, it's exciting to have the wives on here and actually get to hang out with us instead of being on the couch reading a book for 2 hours while we do this and go to bed and come to bed and you're not awake. But I want to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors. Obviously, the Butt Kicker, the leader in haptics, Sundance Pizza, Ideal Lease, and Ascendance Trucks. We appreciate y'all's sponsorship and partnership. And with that, we can get into the PowderPuff race right away. So the PowderPuff race was supposed to be tonight. I think we had 9 females signed up to partake in a 100-lap brawl at Bristol Motor Speedway. But unfortunately, due to some iRacing server issues, that has been postponed to tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern start time, if everything is all fixed up. So really looking forward to that because we had a broadcast set up and that we're really excited to do. I was really just going to let Carl and Richard kind of take the reins of it since they are the 2 expert broadcasters. But either way, it's going to be mayhem, and I hope we can get to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be exciting. I know there have been a couple of practice sessions. These ladies have some speed out there, the ones that I've seen practice, and it's exciting because from a secondary perspective, you're actually sitting away from the rig. You're sitting away from it and watching your wife or significant other race. You're like, oh, you should do this, and you should do this. And
We're telling you to shut up. You're the backseat driver.
So the role is flipped, and it makes it very interesting, very fun. And like you said, Steven, it's unfortunate that we had to postpone, but tomorrow, Friday night fireworks. I'm excited seeing the race at the Glass Great Coliseum.
Man, I'm really excited as well, Carl. Man, this was a great idea that we came up with. I mean, the wives put up with us racing every Tuesday night. Me and Carl every Wednesday night also, and then we also have the podcast on Thursday, and then practice on Monday. We have a lot going on throughout the week, so it was kind of a little, hey, do you guys want to try this out? I know they were all excited to do it. My wife was a little hesitant, but I know that my first practice that we hosted. It was funny because like I told her, like, hey, they're doing practice. You need to get in here and at least get some feel for it. And she was like, oh, how long do I have to practice for? It's like 30 minutes tops, okay?
Like 9 o'clock at night. I was already in bed.
So I was like, 30 minutes tops. That's all I'm going to ask you to do. And she's like, fine. So she came in here. And after talking with everybody, it was Julie, Addison, and I believe Carl's wife. I'm sorry.
Ashley.
There for a second. Ashley. I even put your name on his car. That's terrible of me. Like, Ashley, like, once she was talking to all of them, like, you guys were there for like an hour and 15 minutes practicing?
Yeah, it
like,
was a
you
long
were?
time.
Me and I think Julie were like, okay, we gotta go to bed. And then she's like, I'm just gonna stand here and talk to you guys for whoever it was that said that. And then I'm like, yeah, I gotta go to bed too. Still driving the car, you know.
Fell asleep at the wheel. It's very dangerous.
Now y'all know how easy it is to stay on so late because you're just talking to your friends and you're just hanging out.
It's a good time. It was a good time.
And like last night, Riley, she was playing Dreamlight Valley actually with one of her friends from work that she found out played it. And like when I found out she was like up till 11:30 at night playing this game, I'm like, now you see how fun video games are when you play with friends. So no, I'm really excited for tomorrow. I hope Riley's really excited. She's got her fundraiser on the car. She's going to be driving the number 15 Mazda Miata. So yeah, no, we're excited. Definitely gonna be fun being able to cast my wife on the track. That's going to be interesting.
She's hitting the curb again. Up in the wall.
And she's in the wall.
It's
again.
normal. She does this every
she's
day.
probably complaining about the power steering.
Yeah. This car doesn't drive right.
No, the power steering is like really scary. Like if you spin out, like it. Steven told me to let go of the steering wheel because he said it'll take my shoulder out, and I'm glad he said that because it just like it goes crazy.
Yeah, but so what you do though is I saw her when she was wrecking is she lets go of the wheel and like giggles like this with her hands right here. It's like
I mean, the hands are off the wheel, so at least still reduces injury. At
I
least.
guess somewhat, but
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to that tomorrow, so hopefully we can get that done.
Wheel moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
Riley,
and I believe
what's your fundraiser, Riley, on your car?
Oh, I have this problem. I'm addicted to Run Disney. It's a real issue. It's very
Yes.
expensive. But anyway, I've met all these amazing people through Run Disney, and they all joined this fundraising event where this is how you pay for your Run Disney runs is through this fundraising. It's called Starlight, the Starlight Foundation. And so anyway, this foundation basically they bring home to the hospitals for these kids. So like if your kid's in the hospital and he misses his Xbox or something, like they bring a whole setup
That's cool.
to the hospital.
Cool.
Yeah, to make sure that your new home, is like your real home. You know what I'm saying? So
That's so cool.
yeah, but I'm on a fundraising team, and they are like the most amazing women that do this. So I just wanted to be part of something fun. And I have never fundraised before, so I am very nervous because if I don't raise the money, I'm in the hole, $1,100.
Ooh.
I know, so I'm like, oh, everybody.
Well, if we wanted to go online and donate, where would we go?
So I have a link on my Instagram page. It's the Starlight Foundation, but you have to search my name, Riley Wolsifer, to help me reach my particular goal. My goal, I get like a special. I'm doing this for the Princess Run in 2025. So I get like a special bib that's like, I raised this much money for the Starlight Foundation, and I'm running a half marathon. So
Cool.
but
and I've actually shared her link in our Discord down in the personal socials section as well. So.
Oh, the one we're
But-
getting removed to? Okay.
No,
that's cool.
you're not going to be fully removed. Y'all are just going to be very restricted.
But she could definitely share that to anybody that would like to know what it is more, especially on Facebook. I know she's friends with Julie now on Facebook.
Oh
but,
man, hey,
we
Stephen,
could definitely
you
share.
should post
We
that
can
on
definitely share
YouTube
that
real
link
quick.
with everybody if anybody is interested and wants to check
Yeah.
it out.
That's cool.
Well, I have a question for the ladies. During y'all's time practicing for this PowderPuff race, is there anything that you learned during your time practicing?
Can't just be on the gas the whole time.
oh, I thought you meant about the other ladies.
Well, I mean, it
We
could
should
be
do-
either
that's a
or.
good question,
There you
too.
go. If you
It's
want
not-
to
I
take it
didn't
that
even
way.
have a car.
Carl, do you want to answer?
Whoa. I see how it is. I see how it is.
I learned that my husband is a worse backseat driver than I am on the railroad, so yeah, there's that. As far as the sim racing thing, though, no.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I learned anything.
You didn't learn anything?
I don't even, like, So I did pretty good, and I went pretty fast as long as there were no other cars around me. And when I got close to other cars, that's when trouble came about. And so it'll be interesting tomorrow because I won't just have one other person on the track with me.
Like, we were professionals. Like, I mean, put us on the Iron Maidens. You know what I'm saying?
Iron Dames.
Iron Dames. I
Iron
don't know what
Dames,
I'm
there
talking
you
about.
go.
And me and Carl are the only two that got that reference.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I
She
obviously
cheers
didn't
for
get it either, so.
But I will tell you, Ashley and I did another practice, I think, on Sunday, and Gavin, it was just Gavin's name on there, and Gavin is, like, really good, and, like, we knew his mom is going to be racing tomorrow, and holy cow, for a second, she was just, like, lapping us, and Ashley and I were like, she's going to win, oh my gosh, and I got off and I told Steven, I was like, yeah, I know where Gavin gets it from. His mom's like pretty sick. And he was like, well, that was actually Gavin showing his mom how to race. So
We might have a fighting chance, is what you're saying.
Saying there's a chance.
That is really funny.
Do you have a goal of like how many times you want to wreck like less than? Like you're like, if I wreck less than 3 times, I'm happy. Or are you just gonna be happy? No
I was
matter
trying to wreck more than 3 times.
what? Oh, I mean that's shooting for the
Oh, I
stars.
thought we
Pointed
were-
to everybody.
I thought we were doing bumper cars.
I mean you could if y'all agree with
Halo
it.
derby.
I mean some people
I'm just
race us
kidding,
like
I'm not
that, so
Oh, that's true.
Excuse me?
I didn't say names.
Oh, I thought I heard a name at first. I was like, excuse me. Wait a second.
I'm not here to say names, but yeah, so make sure we'll get a new link set up. I know Rev has been working with us and helping us a lot behind the scenes to get everything set up that we need to be able to broadcast for it tomorrow. And we will get a new link set up and posted on our social tomorrow when that gets up. And hopefully iRacing doesn't have any issues and we can get y'all ladies racing and having some fun. So praying for that. But onto the BRB Racing League, the Butt Kicker Cup Series, that is. We haven't been here for a couple weeks now because we had last week off for the 4th of July.
Yeah, we just had 1 week off.
Well, yeah, so we weren't here for 2 weeks.
Yeah, this was going to be the second week we're going to have off because of the PowderPuff, but we supplemented doing the podcast tonight since we posted.
Making me work.
I know. Gotta earn that $0 paycheck. Man.
Yeah, I work hard for it. But so we missed 2 weeks ago. We were at New Hampshire for the Ascendance Truck 175. Let me pull up those race results I had that I wanted to go over. We don't need to know who won because it's not important. Adam ended up finishing second. Richard Wolsifer ended up winning his first race this season. Big congratulations, big shout out to Richard. You were
Yeah.
Oh my god, scared the shoot out of me. Scared the living dickens out of me. He was screaming so loud, I was like, where's the fire?
Hey, it was his first asphalt win. Like, it's something to be really proud of. And
No,
honestly,
listen,
he
I
dominated.
am proud. It scared me. I heard that he dominated. The whole neighborhood heard it. I was real proud. He couldn't hear me say it because he was screaming so loud. But yeah,
Well, you were also back to sleep when I got back in the room.
I
so.
remember when you won. I was very proud of you. My heart was racing.
Started with her so much she had to go back to sleep.
Yes, Richard got his first win of the season. Looking for some more coming up. Adam Buzzio finished second. I knew he felt a little snake bitten from that one. He thought he had something for you, Richard, but you got the best
Oh, we
of
definitely
him.
did. We
Hey,
definitely did.
doesn't matter. You won it.
Were friendships mended after?
No. I don't want to speak for Adam, but
Bummer.
Adam told me not to tell Richard he hates him.
Is that why Adam didn't even race this week? He's
That's
so
why,
mad.
yep.
Yeah, he had to mend his heart by going on vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, I would do the same thing.
But Johnny Wood Jr. coming home in third, another solid run for Johnny. Carl, yourself in fourth, a good run.
Forever fourth.
Considering forever.
Yeah,
fourth,
for real.
considering all things, and then William Maddox in fifth. Dakota. Do y'all know how to pronounce his last
Bly.
name?
Bly.
I want to say Blay, but
I would say Blee.
Blee. Well, Dakota Bly bringing home sixth. I know Dakota said something in our Discord before we started in saying that we finally have to say his name and acknowledge him this week. But Dakota, congratulations in sixth. Matthew Quarter seventh. Richard Smith eighth. Sam Dyer ninth, and myself in rounding out the top 10 from New Hampshire. Richard, what do you remember from New Hampshire for that race,
Cautions.
other than just winning?
Cautions. Oh no, the track was definitely loose. I definitely had a lot of issues, or quite a few issues actually, of just missing my brakes or just locking the tires up and sliding sideways. Carl spinning me also in stage one.
I didn't touch you there. What are you talking about? You're crazy.
Well, that was Richmond. I'm sorry.
That was
I'm getting
Richmond.
races mixed up.
I've had 2 races where I haven't touched you at all, so keep that in mind.
Hey, let's keep the sound bites
No.
like pretty clean here.
No, it was overall it was a fun race. I really was not expecting to get a flat track, short track win at all. I mean, I dread flat short tracks. I generally think I don't enjoy them until I actually get about halfway through, and I'm like, why do I not enjoy these? These are actually decently fun. I definitely was not expecting the pace I had. I have no clue where that came from, but it was definitely a relief to finally get an asphalt win. That's for sure. I mean, I've had the Eldora win from last season, and you know, a lot of people said they're like, "Oh, that wasn't a real win. Get on an asphalt and try it." It's like, yeah, okay. So now you can't say that.
I still can say it. I can say you backed into it.
I backed into it. Okay. But almost, if we were broadcast by Freaky Fast, I was so close to having that grand slam, man. But Dustin Stallings was able to pull out the pole because I ended up I won stage 1 and stage 2 plus the win. But overall, it was a fun race. I really wish Adam and I could have raced out those last 14 or 15 laps under green. I mean, I'm sort of glad we didn't, because I think that's what kind of helped me get the win. But it would have been a hell of a race between us two for those last 10 laps. That would have been a blast.
And speaking
Well,
of...
and
Go ahead,
oh,
Carl.
sorry.
You're good.
Well, I'm talking to Richard he mentioned his win at Eldora last season, and then he wins at New Hampshire, and the overall theme of the night was being loose, being able to really struggle to get the power down, to accelerate out of the corner, and the way. And Richard, about halfway through the race of his 84 laps led, he's like, man, I feel like I can drive this better because it feels like a dirt track, because he's really having to manage the throttle, manage the rear end, and I think that kind of takes into account that's kind of the reason why Richard had such success there. He was able to translate that between disciplines, and he made it work for him. So it's awesome to see. He was our 4th different winner in 4 races, so it was definitely fun to see Richard cap that off that night.
Definitely so. And Sam is in our chat right now saying New Hampshire was a caution and drama all around. I was
Was it
going to
drama?
bring up Dustin Stallings was lightning fast at New Hampshire, and early on in the race, Adam used him up a little bit in turns 3 and 4, and then got chased back down the hill by Dustin. I'm not pointing blame either way. Dustin played around with fire and ended up right hooking Adam at the end of the day, whether or not it was on purpose or not. Again, I'm not making judgment call there, but that is what happened. Adam obviously was super upset at that, and that just started everything of all the drama for that evening. So much drama, in fact, that it allowed me to make a radioactive of just voice communications from one race, which we've never had before. So I had to use the opportunity to do it. There were multiple times people were just frustrated with each other throughout the whole thing. I know Brendan Maddox was upset at times. I was upset at times. Richard Smith was upset at times. Dustin, Adam, Patrick, thank you. Like, over half the guys were upset and verbalizing their being upset, which was honestly good to see because we don't have that often. Usually the communications are pretty quiet for the most part, which can get boring, but it was kind of exciting for once. So, Richard, you chose a good race to win. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'd say so. It definitely, there was a lot of chatter on the radio that entire race. It was, and the TikTok you put together for it was great. Like, I loved the duck noises.
Thank you.
It's like, oh well. So, and then the sad music when Adam was queuing up over the radio, I lost it. I was like, oh. But yeah, that radioactive was great. You did a fantastic job at that. I'm hoping, like, as much as I hate hearing the radio over the during the race, it's great to see the content that comes from it though, like afterwards. But I personally thought the race, with the exception of how many cautions there was, because I mean I think we only had 2 decently long green flag runs. The rest of it was like 10 laps or something like that.
If we were lucky.
Yeah, if we were lucky. But overall, I really did enjoy that race. Like, even when I was in the back, like, just being able to drive around everybody, and I really didn't get into a lot of people either, which was something new-ish for me.
I think you had a time at some point. Did you get, like, you turned it into the wall or something like that on the backstretch? If I remember correctly.
I know I got into a wreck. What happened?
I don't know. I think I
did
or
have
was it
2
you,
moments
Carl?
I spun out.
I know it was one of y'all.
Yeah, I did choose to spin, I think, towards the end of stage 2 or something like that. But it was, and it's funny, Richard said it again. He was able to pass people and stuff, and it was the exact opposite for me. It was so hard to pass, and I think that really contributed to the amount of fire that everyone had at the end of the night. If you were to pass, you either had to have a car that was way better, just overall fresh tires or something like that, or it was you were trying to bump and door your way through. I know I had a fun battle with William Maddox there, and I was kind of guarding that middle line where just the banking was starting to go. So William tried to go down low, and it's so flat there. There's no grip down there. You can't really take that at speed, and he lost it there, and that just goes kind of the evidence. It was so hard to pass. You go low, you didn't have enough grip. You go high, it was too far around. It was just really hard to maneuver on other cars.
It was a very difficult track, and I'm glad that we're done with it. And before moving on to New Hampshire, since we have another race to also cover today, I do want to get y'all's meatball of the week from New Hampshire. And also, I want the wives. Are y'all familiar with the meatball of the week?
No.
So basically, the meatball of the week is the idiot of the week, for lack of better
Bonehead
terms. Bonehead move of the week.
Rude.
It's all fun,
It's
non-serious.
all just poking fun for hilarious.
Some people win it more than others, but it doesn't mean anything.
Until someone
Brandon!
comes at you in the Discord after the podcast.
Well, that's fun. But Richard, I'll let you start it off.
Well, he just wrecked the room, so give him a second.
Of course.
Sounds like
So
he's the meatball.
There you go. Carl, while Richard's getting his facilities in check.
Gross. But man, it's tough. You know what? I'm actually gonna pick on Johnny Wood, and here is the reason why. I see Johnny Wood coming up, and I'm putting down some pretty decent lap times towards the end of the race. I see Johnny Wood in my mirror, no bumper. Not a bumper at all. I'm like, he has no arrow. He's not going to be able to stick it in the corner. It'll be fine. I'll be able to pull away from him and keep this 3rd spot. No. Whatever happened with his bumper being gone, I don't know if it helped cool the tires more or something else with the arrow, he was putting down way faster laps than I could dream of. Let's see. His fastest lap was 134 at a 30.7 even. Mine was lap 114 at a 37.69. So he was running really fast laps at the end of that race, and he was able to stick it through the corner and not have to worry about spinning out and losing it. So that's my meatball, just because I'm trying to figure out his grip hack status.
All right.
Well, are you serious?
Oh man.
I don't know what's going on over there.
I keep dropping my ring light.
Honestly, just keep it off. We don't need to see your face like that anymore.
You're right.
I didn't
Take
say
the
that.
bird,
No.
dude. Let me go get the aloe.
Whoa.
Aloe.
I mean,
Jokes are being made.
While Richard's still getting his stuff figured out,
Just really.
I'm gonna go with Dustin. I say that just because of the right hook. I was thinking about going with Brendan, but I feel like he got battered enough for that whole situation. So it will be Dustin right hooking Adam there and kind of ruining his run. Unfortunately, Adam was really quick there and he was looking forward to it. So Dustin Stallings is my meatball.
Oh, man, meatball. There was a lot, and I'm trying to think honestly.
oh, that's what smells.
Okay. My brain trying to think of a meatball of the week? Yeah, you're right. I smell the burning also. Shoot, dude. I'd hate to do it, but I'm gonna have to go with Dustin Stallings also. That just between the incident with Adam, which I mean, again, whether he did it on purpose or not, like I was just like you said earlier, played with fire and got burned really bad for it. So and then I mean, when he took it 3 wide, which, I mean, it's not that late in the race, you can't really say that was dumb. Like, but it just so happened that he was the one that got loose. He was the one that kind of took it, like, the couple of drivers out.
Yep.
And
I remember it.
I think the biggest part of why he's my meatball is, like, it wasn't just, like, other drivers around him, obviously, that he messed up. He involved quite a few of his teammates in those situations also, and that's you know, unfortunate to see. So I would have to say Dustin Stallings also. I do know that he did not race Chicago Street Course. I think he kind of self-policed himself on that. But he did kind of, and I will say, you know, we do appreciate him. He did come up in the Discord. He kind of took responsibility for the whole situation. I know him and Adam had good conversations afterward. Adam said they were good conversations, so... but it was good to see. It was good to see that. It was good to see him, you know, stepping up, taking, you know, the responsibility for it, and accepting whatever penalties came his way. Which I don't think there really ever was any administered. He just kind of self-policed himself at Chicago. Yeah, I'd have to go with Dustin Stallings also, and mainly just because like the amount of teammates that he involved with the issues that were going on.
Yeah, it was wrong place, wrong time sort of situation. But now that you bring up Chicago, that can get us going to Chicago. This past Tuesday, we raced at the Chicago Street Course for the Autism Awareness 125. We ended up doing more laps than the Cup Series did at Chicago this past weekend, which it only took us an hour and 38 minutes. Took the Cup Series 5 hours to run 58 laps. So that speaks for itself. But headed into this race, we hadn't run Chicago Street for, honestly, the full calendar year now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when Gavin had absolutely dominated the field and ran away with everything. And the track was very difficult and tough to pass and everything like that. So going into it, didn't really know what to expect. And man, it was some of the most competitive racing on a road course that I've ever seen in a Cup car or I've ever been a part of. 4, 5, 6 cars all battling for a position at times. People wrecking out of nowhere, and it's such a tight track. It's very difficult to go 2 or 3 wide, especially 3 wide. But some people made it work at times, and some people didn't. But with that, Mason Hausman ended up getting his 2nd win of the season. That is 3 in a row for Limitless, correct?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
a 3-peat for Limitless. It was
Mason won Texas.
Texas.
Yep.
I won New Hampshire, and then Mason did our first repeat winner of the season at the Chicago Street Course.
First repeat winner indeed. Mason was quick. Followed behind him in 2nd with a couple broken toe links and some bruises along the way. But happy with 2nd. Johnny Wood Jr., again, 3rd place, very consistent this whole year. He had a lot of speed the whole time, didn't make many mistakes. So good run there. Jared Hughes in 4th. Jared was really quick, all practice, qualifying, and race long. So 4th is very good for him. 5th, Jamie Plourde. I want to give a shout out to Jamie for finishing 5th and running as quick as he did this week. I was really impressed and really proud to see the speed and consistency he had. There were times I was ahead of him, I was looking at my relative, and I wasn't pulling away as much as I expected to. I had trusted my speed, but didn't give some others enough credit on their speed for the week, so big shout outs to Jamie. Carl, right at home in 6th after your a little bit of a collapse situation that you had, but you got it fixed up and salvaged 6th, so nothing wrong with that. And our last car on the lead lap, 7th, Brendan Maddox, a solid finish as well. 8th, Richard Smith. 9th, Dakota. Last name.
Why?
Bly.
Are you trying to make out with the microphone?
I'm not going to make out the microphone. Dakota Bly. Dakota Bly, and 10th, William Maddox. So, overall, what did y'all take away from Chicago?
Overall, I absolutely love the Chicago Street Course. It is such a fun course to run. You start putting down laps, and you start putting down laps, the next thing you know, you're 15, 20 laps into a run. It is definitely difficult. There is zero margin for error. You're either fast or you're not, and to be fast, you got to get in within that inch of the apex, get up to the wall, everything else. It is rough, but it is super, super fun. I loved it. I was actually kind of happy with myself. I used some strategy, was up front a little bit, led a couple of laps, but like you said, Steven, towards the end, I made a mistake going out of 5 and kind of spun it got offline. And overall, I probably could have finished better than 6, but Jamie, like you said, was really fast. I thought I could maybe catch him up because I know I stayed out, tried to get 2nd place and try to catch him up, but he was quick, so it was a fun race for sure. So I'm kind of content with where I was and how I finished.
Yeah, honestly, going back to it, you put those top 6. If we had a restart, let's just say with 10 to go, you have that top 6. I don't know who's winning that. I feel like that top 6 was super, super competitive the whole night, and that's not to take away from anyone else that wasn't in the top 6, but they were racing with each other for a majority of the race, and no one could really pull away, so it was really good to see. Richard, I know you ended up having an issue around, what was that, lap 40?
It was 21 laps to go is when I had my issue.
Okay, so 39.
Yeah.
So take us through your race.
I don't know. I love Chicago Street Course. Last year when we did it in another league, I thoroughly had a blast on the track. I wasn't fast. I was getting faster near the end, and I was like, oh, if I would have put more practice in, maybe I could have had something for the top 5, top 10. I don't remember where I finished there. I know it wasn't good. So I was excited to go back this season. It was one of the very few races, or it was one of the many races that I was super excited about, here in season 2. And I just I don't know. They changed something between last year and this year with the car. I don't know if anybody noticed, but they actually took the rear splitters off the car in the sim for the Chicago Street Course.
I did not realize.
I don't know if that had... Yeah, that was one thing I did realize. I was like, ooh, that's strange. And I think that might have had to do with my issue with it. Because I just felt like I could not put the power down like everybody else could. Every time I tried to, the car just would get too loose and spin.
Skill issue.
The brakes, yeah, it is. I get it. Okay, thanks for digging that stuff further in. And the brakes, I couldn't figure out the brakes either. You'd either lock the brakes up or I just would brake way too much and be too slow. So it's just, I couldn't find a balance. And, like I said, lap 39, I went to hit the brakes and I don't know, I felt like I hit the brakes at my normal brake spot and the car just locked the tires up and I couldn't get the tires to roll anymore. And I hit head on. I missed the tire barriers completely, I'm pretty sure. And I hit the wall head on and just destroyed the motor. So I think it was 40 minutes of required repairs for that repair, or for that wreck, and I didn't have my fast repair anymore because I broke a toe link earlier. So I was kind of SOL. So at that point, if anybody tried to watch the race, our broadcast team, they actually had a issue with the internet, so they actually cut out 10 minutes into the race. But I just for some odd reason decided to stream that race. And the last 20 laps, if you guys do want to check it out, it was actually a phenomenal race. It really was a phenomenal race. I actually was able to broadcast from my Twitch the last 20 laps, and I was actually trying to do like an actual, broadcast the best I could because I don't have a full setup for it, and it was insane to watch. Like, it was all the top 4 were just there the entire last 20 laps, and it was great to watch and be able to cast for anybody that watched it. So
Yeah, Richard, I want to give you a big shout out for that. I didn't know you had it in you, but after watching it, I was thoroughly impressed, and very impressed in your broadcast ability. Let's just say that. But no, it was awesome.
I mean, it's something that I kind of figured out that I could do by streaming. Actually, I was streaming Valorant one day, and like every time I queued up to talk to people in the game, everyone's like, "You have do you shoutcast for VCT or some shit like that?" And I was like, "No." Like, I wasn't even casting then. I was just like randomly talking, and everyone's like, "You have a voice for that." So I kind of dove into that and just started like randomly shoutcasting my random Valorant games. And like it just kind of built off that to a point where I was actually invited to apply for a organization called Evasion GG, who used to put on tournaments for Escape from Tarkov, another first-person shooter game that I play. And I think one of my first casting opportunities with them was actually during their I want to say their 2022 Summer Trios tournament. And there were 18,000 people watching that broadcast when I was casting.
Oh man!
Live. So it's something that I had to kind of build quick and learn. I have casted, I think, 2 races with an old driver of ours, Alexander Light, with his racing, his broadcasting. So this was something that like I've always wanted to do, but like I prefer being in the car.
Yeah.
So
I completely understand.
So it kind of worked out that I did wreck out, and that the race was so close, it gave me an opportunity to kind of stretch that leg of mine that I enjoy doing. And I appreciate that, and I'm glad you went back and watched and saw it. So
Yeah. I'll take you out
can
next week early too, if you want to do
No,
it again.
no, dude. Legacy Atlanta, you better not.
But you
Carl's got you on that.
You've got a great face and voice for the radio.
I know I do. I've got the perfect face for radio.
Goodness.
What do you mean? What do you do with that? You plug it into the other cable that it unplugged it out of.
But back to Chicago. Mason did end up leading 47 out of the 60 laps, but I don't want to say he dominated it. He had battles everywhere, whether it was Carl, yourself and Mason, me and Mason, Jared and Mason, Johnny and Mason. Like, there were battles in that whole top 6, like I was saying, the whole race. And it was not a runaway at all. It was the closest road course race that I've been a part of and that I've seen, really, in a league race. But anything else y'all want to touch on Chicago?
I want iRacing to do 2 things: to update 2 tire models. 1, we need rain tires.
Yes, we do.
So that would be fun. And then 2, they need to update the tire model on the tire barrier. It's not a tire barrier if you hit it and it doesn't move and it's concrete. That's a problem to me. So I do think that there should be, especially at Chicago, give us a chance to hit the tires, let it kind of absorb some of that. Yes, we do see, we saw Sunday that, hey, sometimes you hit the tires, you destroy the car, which I get. Cool. Like, give us a chance to try and absorb some of that and maybe recover. But no, it was a fun race overall, and I think it's going to be a classic. Even if it doesn't stay around in the NASCAR circuit, it'll be around on iRacing for a while.
I have no other comments. For that. I wrecked out, but I really do think that the final 20 laps was just a blast to, like, even besides the commentating part, just being able to watch it. I was impressed by all 4 of you guys. It was you, Borbell, for a while till you spun. And then, Mason put on a heck of a clinic. And he did exactly what I told him to do. I told him, do not be don't put burner laps down every lap. Be faster than second place. That's all you have to do. And he took that advice and ran with it and did phenomenal. Johnny Wood up there also. All 4 of the top 4, they just did a fantastic job putting on one hell of a show for a road course. Because usually in any road course anywhere, you see pretty much everyone spreads out, and it's just kind of like some people kind of catch each other. But all four of them, man, they put one heck of a show on, and it was great to be able to take a step away from the car. I mean, it's not like I had a choice, and be able to commentate it and to be able to compensate, for the fact that our broadcast had died because of storms. So it was fun to be able to do that for us and for you guys actually. So
Clarification: our broadcast team is still alive. They did not die in any storms. They were not in the hurricane.
the broadcast died.
Well, I mean, I just want to be clear here. No one died. We're okay. But
The internet died.
The internet died that day, just like iRacing died tonight.
Yes.
Oh man.
But before we leave, Chicago meatball of the week for Chicago. Go.
Brakes.
That's
kidding.
not a
Nice
fair
kill.
option.
Me, I'll take the meatball for the week on my end. That missing the brakes out of that turn, like that sucked. It took me out of the race. I was hoping at least clutch up a top 10 if at all possible. But so I'll take a meatball on my end.
Fair enough.
Yeah, man, it's hard for me because I had the only time I had my race ruined is when I ruined it myself. So it's hard for me to say one way or the other who gets my meatball.
You're a meatball.
You know what? I think I am. Thanks. See, the wife is there to humble me and keep me in check. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I guess my meatball will be myself too, because I was up there in that pack. Like I said, I used strategy, kind of flipped the stage, the end of stage 2, was able to make track position up, and I had a second place spot. I thought I could maybe hold you off, Steven, and instead of that, I got loose and wrecked myself. So yeah, I think I'm going to follow Richard's suit and choose myself as the meatball.
And we are all going to choose ourselves as the meatball this week, because I am also choosing myself as the meatball for the week. I felt fast in qualifying and practice, and felt like I can compete with Mason. And then, I don't know, 2 or 3 laps in, I spin it, I break a toe link, have to repair it, go back out, break another toe link, repair it during the caution. Coming to the green, before we even get to the green, I break another toe link, have to go fix it again. Like, it was a revolving door with breaking 4 toe links, I think, in total, and ending up finishing with a broken toe link. So it was a battle all night, so I could have done better if I didn't do that, but I mean, can't complain too much about that. But I do want to give a quick shout out to everyone that maybe wasn't as competitive per se, of giving each other room around the track, being as courteous as they were through the times of someone was coming up behind you and you don't want to slow them down, and because especially at Chicago, it's a real killer if you're stuck behind someone for a number of turns. You can lose a second or 2 or 3 seconds even to the car in front of you. So just the amount of respect that everyone gave, I thought was really good, especially after New Hampshire and what we experienced.
Yeah, and I've got to give a shout out to one driver, Matthew Erickson. He reached out to me prior to the race, and he asked if there was any rule about him starting the race and then parking, because he did not want to be in anybody's way. He just wanted to be like, I don't want to do it. And I told him, I was like, as long as you start the race, run 1 green flag lap, then you can pull in the pits and be done. Like, if that's what you want to do. There's nothing against the rules against that, but you do have to run 1 green flag lap to be counted as points. And he stuck it out to the end. He stayed in the race and he stuck it out to the end. So I've got to give a shout out to him. Like, we appreciate you sticking it out, man. We don't. I mean, we understand some drivers, there's tracks they're just not going to like. We all have them. Some people just don't want to drive them, so they will. They'll start and park it. So for you to stick it out and to try and get better at the track, it was great to see. We appreciate as many drivers as we can on the track at all times. So Matthew Erickson, shout out from me, man. Pat on the back. Thanks for sticking it out for us. And am I missing something? Is Ashley hitting Carl?
That's how you know my shoulders are beefed up and ready to go.
Right.
Gotta make
No
sure
ideas.
build up that padding.
Do I
The
look
callus is there.
Yes. See
What?
Of course, Warbell wasn't looking.
Like him.
What did I do?
Nothing. That's exactly what you did.
I mean, that's what I normally do. All right.
Are we gonna get the introduction to the puppy?
Oh, so this is Cannoli. Cannoli always likes to be in her mom's lap and can't stand not being with her mom, so that is why Cannoli has decided to come and grace us
Say
with
hi.
her presence. Cannoli,
What
they
kind
say
of
hello.
dog is Noli?
She's a mini Aussie.
She's a
She's a mini drama queen. Yes. Thank you. But now that Chicago is done and I have dog slobber in my nose.
Better the nose than the mouth, I say.
I don't think that's something that you usually would just say.
I said that once.
Well, on
It's
to
not like you
the
just go
next
down the street.
family-friendly topic. The standing situation. So, this is the
Warbell
same.
losing it.
After Chicago, so our points format, how it works is basically if you don't show up to a race or if you had a race that you did the worst in and all of the races that you appeared to, one race will automatically get dropped off of the standings. So your worst race, or if you didn't start and you got 0 points, that race is dropped. Same sort of deal. And this factors that in. So that being said, Mason Houseman is our points leader with 209 points. He does have 2 wins this season, as we said earlier. Adam Buzzio was not here this week. Unfortunately, he took a vacation and decided that vacation was more important than his friends. He is in second. He is currently 16 behind Mason. Johnny Wood Jr. in third, sitting at 17 behind Mason. Myself in fourth, 25 behind first. Richard, you round out the 5th place, and you are 30 points behind Mason. Carl, not too far behind in 6th, 32 points behind the lead. Jared Hughes in 7th. I lost my spot. 36 points. Thank you, Ed. 36 points behind the lead. Dustin Stallings does drop 6 spots with not showing up this week, unfortunately, to 50 points behind first. And 9th, 10th, and 11th. No, not all tied. Sorry, I thought they were tied for a second. 9th is Brennan Maddox. 10th is Matthew Cordair. 11th, Evan Patinko. 12th, Jamie Plord. 13th, Richard Smith. And that's the top 13. I know it's a random place to stop, but that's where I'm choosing to stop. So, now that we are 5 races into this season, are there any surprises, any names that are outside of the top 10 that surprise you? I know we did our top 10 pick before the season started of who we thought were playoff drivers, and one name is obviously not there. That is a surprise to, I think, most of us. But any others that y'all can think of?
Actually, I think for the most part, that's pretty similar. I know Evan. Evan, I think himself being outside the top 10 is kind of a shock to me, just because Evan's a quick guy. He's had a lot of bad luck this season. I know he was doing pretty good at Chicago himself, and got caught up in an incident and made him, unfortunately, only complete 35 laps. Matthew Corder, I got to give a shout out to him. He's in the top 10. He's in the chase as it is. He doesn't have a huge gap. He only has 18 points to Evan, but that is pretty substantial considering Matthew Corder is one of those guys where he's consistent. He shows up every race. He tries to finish as many laps as he can, and he just puts his nose to the grindstone. I think that's why Matthew's in 10th right now.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's great to see that Matthew Corder is there. He has had a lot of pace this season. Stop pointing at that. There's a cat there.
She's so cute.
There's a cat.
It's a little baby kitten.
It's so small.
It really is.
His name's Hagrid.
Yes.
Hagrid's in
I got
first place.
kitten.
What? Hagrid's racing tomorrow. But yes, Matthew Corder in 10th. He has had a lot of speed this season, and he has stuck it out through some races and really been persistent about it, and I've seen a lot of improvement out of him. So I'd love to see, as we get through these next couple of weeks, to see if he can hold on to that, what's he got? He's got a 5-point cushion between him and 11th right now, and there's several guys that are right behind him, not too far behind. So he's got his hands full, trying to hold on to that. But in Mason, at the end of the day, like Mason does have 2 wins, but for all intents and purposes, he's not locked in, since we don't have that win in you're in sort of format. Same with you, Richard. Like at the end of the day, you have a win, but you're not locked in by any means. I think you're sitting around 40 above the cut line. Like that's one race. 2 races that can be gone if you're actually in them, but one race you're not there and someone else does really good. Like that's it. I don't know really where I was going with that, but just trying to make some
Sounds
conversation.
like fighting words, really.
It's not fighting words at all.
No, I mean, you're talking about like people you're shocked to being out of the top 10 or whatnot, and Carl hit a pretty good one there. Evan Patinko. I mean, it's not like he's having bad weeks or whatnot. It's just other people are having better weeks than what we were than last year, last season. I say last year. We know what we mean. But another one, I'm based on his performance. Like obviously he's out of the top 10, but like on his improvement that he had last year, I was kind of hoping to see like a better performance this season so far. I know he's missed a race and he's had some on-track incidents, but Patrick Hernandez, I mean, he was doing fantastic at the end of last season. He's doing a lot better. I could see his pace increasing, and he's got pace. He definitely has pace to be up there in the top 10 in points. It's just little mistakes here and there, I think, is just what he needs to focus on. I think that's what's really hurting, just the small mistakes. I still feel Patrick has a chance to get there, but he's definitely got a long, hard road to do it, and I hope that he can keep calm during the races. I think that's one of the biggest things. And, like I mentioned before, it's Carl also. Like, I've had to get on Carl before, to stay calm after a wreck or something like that. It's not easy to do, especially in the heat of the moment, but I still feel Patrick can make it to the top 10 to be able to have a chance for the championship.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance there, and he's going to need, unfortunately, a little bit more time to get practicing. I know he's been running short on time at times of just life gets in the way, and that's what life does. I mean, we don't do this for our jobs, unfortunately, and life is going to get in the way, and he's just in one of those situations. And I see Zachary Maddox in the chat is asking for a tip of gaining confidence in the car during the races, besides practice, if any. And Rev brought up what I was really going to say of seat time. It really is getting yourself in race situations and practice like you play, essentially. Like, practice and doing hot laps can really only do so much. Once you are in the heat of the moment situation, there's 10 laps to go, and you need to go, you're not going to drive like you did in practice. But if you did practice, you at least have the muscle memory towards that, so you have something to rely on. And if you get a little nervous or in a situation where you're not thinking straight because you're just too focused on the big stage of it, having that to fall back on is good. But it really is just trying to compete each week, repetitions of that, and getting yourself in a good position to have the pressure. You want to have pressure each week in a certain situation. You want to race someone tight and know what it's like to be tight with someone. That's the best advice I can give. Do y'all have any advice? Addison, I know you want to give some advice on that.
Well, I mean, some advice for that also is like, this is something that I like to try to make. I've got 2 points for this real fast. One is our practice race is Monday, and we've mentioned it before. I think we've mentioned it every single one of the practice races. Race the practice race like you're going to race Tuesday. Like, I know people like to try and overdrive the car and see what the limits are. And I get that. That's what some people do. Generally, that's what we use. Try to use. I used to. Okay. I drive the practice race now like I'm going to drive the race on Tuesday. But use the regular practice to try to push the car. Find limits in regular practice, because like you can find the limits of a car in regular practice, like even drafting around people. But to learn how to race around people, drive the practice race like you're going to drive on Tuesday. It's going to give you the muscle memory. It's going to give you the confidence going into Tuesday. Like, hey, I know I can drive like this around people. I know I can drive the track like this. This is how I'm going to save tires. It's everything. It's all about the whole picture and putting it on track to be able to perform. I said I had 2 points. What was my second point? And now I lost it.
On top of your head.
It was right there. I knew it was going to
Under
say
the hat.
something.
No.
Well, I'm going to build off that, Richard,
No.
if you need a minute to think on that. And another thing I've noticed, and it's almost the same for every league I've ever raced in, even in officials, because after you race officials so many times, you start seeing names you start recognizing, you start learning the drivers. And it's also you racing where you are. I've been on here for 3 years, not a long time for compared to some of these guys, and you start at the bottom, you're like, okay, you're trying to figure out the track, figure out the car. Once you start doing that, you start increasing your knowledge on all the setups and everything else, and then you start realizing, hey, the people that drive from 10th and 15th drive different than if you're driving from 5th to 10th, and then again in the top 5. There's entirely different mentalities of driving, entirely different ways of driving. Sometimes it's not just about speed, it's how you gain that knowledge. And racing around you guys, being in the top 2 for as long as I was Tuesday night, it's different than racing in the back of the top 5, racing for 6th or 7th. It is completely different on how other drivers are going to react to you and race you for each position. As you get further and further up, the competition gets harder. So all these points are good. Seek time, practice the way you play, but also it's interesting seeing how different it can be as you're going through the field and getting that experience. Like you said, Steven, I'm still getting to learn how to race around in the top 5, the top 3. With yourself, Adam, Dustin, Johnny Wood. It races different than being in my typical mid-pack. So it's totally another mindset you need to think about as you get up there, as you start getting that confidence, start getting that experience. It's another aspect of the race to take care of.
Those are some really good points, guys. I think we covered every situation.
Riley has some advice.
Oh, please. I'd love to hear it.
Okay, listen. It's all about the hype, right? That's how you get your confidence. I'm a marathoner. I'm a half marathoner. You gotta get hyped. The best way to get hyped when you're hitting up the starting line is mom spaghetti every time. That's the only way that you can do this. Build that confidence when your arms are heavy and your knees are weak or whatever the words are. Slim Shady's got your back, bro.
I'm gonna take a
I-
page out of
Richard, I cannot do this again.
drop. I'm gonna take
All right,
a
I think
page out
we
of
need an
Lightning
age check
McQueen's
here.
book.
What happened?
I'm gonna take a page out of Lightning McQueen's book. Turn right to go left. And
No.
You just need some hype. You gotta from the professionals, the PowderPuff professionionals, the PPPs, if you will. We know how to
Take a
hype
PPPs.
PowderPuff professionals. Is that something that I don't?
we're
know?
the triple P's.
The triple
cubed.
P's. Yeah. You just gotta get yourself hyped to whoever needs the confidence. Look in the mirror and say, "Ka-chow, baby."
Yes.
Or "Ka-chicka," whatever the phrase is for you. Get it?
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
Mm.
Well,
And that is the real advice. Ignore everything that these
Yeah.
fellas have told you.
Thank you for coming
We
to
are-
this podcast.
I'm going to head out
We
for
are
the
the
night.
confident queens.
Mic drop.
And now we're on the PowderPuff section of the podcast, y'all. You'll have a good one. Let the testosterone lead, the estrogen take over.
Oh my god. And we're no longer talking about racing.
Well, okay, so what do you guys like to do the 3 to 4 nights out of the week while your husbands are racing?
Would you like to go, Miss Ashley?
Oh God.
It is Ashley, yes.
Well, it mixes between all the Netflix shows I watch
Mm.
and
Yes,
Disney
Queen.
Dreamlight Valley.
Yes, Queen. Can you go to other people's valleys?
I think so.
Do you have
I haven't
Penelope?
done it.
Penelope? Okay, first of all, let's talk about it. Let's unpack this for a second. So, visiting valleys it's fun for the camaraderie, but you can't do nothing. It's so boring. All you can do is steal their stuff that's already, like, you can steal their litter, and then that's it. Like, you're just like, oh, look at these sticks. I'm going to pick that up. But, like, you can't help each other with quests. I can't even, like, show you anything. I can show you my shop, and I can show you my house. That's it. It's so silly. I did it last night with my friend for the first time, and we were like, boo, this is lame. Dreamlight Valley, do better. It's bad. But anyway, I'm so happy that we did.
Quest together. It would make things so much more larger community.
Oh my gosh. Saying, we really thought that we were going to help each other. I am so stocked on supplies. And she was like, I have no shiny emeralds. I'm like, sister friend, I got you. Don't even worry about it.
Can't you
And then,
drop them and she can pick them up?
so
No, that's
anyway,
cheating.
I don't know. I've played
We
a little
didn't try
bit, but I
that.
never go
We
back to the
didn't try
game. So
that.
I don't know if you can drop stuff out of the inventory, but like that's just the gamer in me.
but I
just-
did. I was like, go through and take what you need. And I tried to give her like a tour because I'm like super organized. I'm not organized in life, but in Dreamlight Valley, okay. And anyway, try to give her a tour. And she went to one of the boxes with the gems that's color coordinated, and then she was like, I can't open it. And then I tried to open it, and I couldn't open it either. That's dumb. I should be able to do that.
See, I tried once right after they started letting people go to other people's villages, valleys, whatever. And you can't pick up anything. You can't do your own gardening. You can't pick up flowers. You can't pick up sticks. Nothing.
Nothing. It's
So
so
I don't know if they changed it with this last update.
you can pick up stuff, but like you can't garden. Like you can pick up flowers and sticks, and I think you can't mine, but you can chop up like the giant blocks or whatever that's there. But my friend found out that you could pick up all those pixels, and she stole all mine. So I'm hoping that they regenerate because I think I need like 50 of them, and I have one, and she walked away with like 30. So, and she stole a pair of jeans from my store, right out from underneath me. I was trying to do it, trying to talk to Scrooge, and she stole it. I was like, what? That you can only talk to one person at a time? What the heck? I guess that makes sense.
I'm sorry. This is Disney.
Sorry.
What?
Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Dreamlight Valley.
I've heard of
Poor
Stardew
Addison's
Valley.
just
Is
there
that
like,
the
I have
same?
no clue.
It's
Oh.
kind of like what's the Animal Crossing game?
Animal Crossing.
Animal
Yeah, it's
Crossing.
like Animal Crossing, but
was-
it's literally just Disney themed.
Ah.
I was a Diner Dash gal back in the day,
Oh, I love
Um,
Diner
I-
Dash.
Nintendo DS, and we found like a Diner Dash kind of thing on Xbox that you could do together, and Steven hates playing
Oh,
with me.
she's talking of Overcooked.
He hates playing with
Oh.
me. We're not allowed to play it
Oh, it's a
together
terrible
anymore.
game to play with a spouse, or
Hold on. No, you want a great game
It
to
Takes
play
Two?
with your spouse? It Takes Two is frustratingly awesome.
It's such a fun time, except for when I'm getting yelled at. Otherwise, it's great. I'm not a gamer, so him like
Yeah.
flying through, and I'm like dying, like every 10 seconds, and just regenerating. And then he kills me, and I'm like, I'm literally making no progress. I'm gonna need you to chill, please.
We play Super Monkey Ball. We used to play that together a lot.
Look at it.
That's super fun. I could tear it up on Wii Bowling.
Why are you blinking so much, Steven?
I don't remember playing Super Monkey Ball. Was this in
What?
college?
Yeah, you literally downloaded Monkey Ball on your
Yes. So
laptop.
my laptop that I haven't
computer.
opened today, I opened it for the first time, and the date was set back, so it wasn't working from the last time I opened it. And the date on it was September 9th, 2022 was the last time I even opened it. And I
Birthday.
happy birthday to
Birthday.
you and my
Your
laptop
computer.
last time I opened it. But I did turn my my laptop, ever since I built the PC, I turned my laptop into my GameCube ROM machine, essentially. So I just have a GameCube emulator and just play GameCube games on it. But
That for you.
Addison, what do you do during the days of the week that we're tied up?
Yeah, usually I start off by doing all the dishes that we got dirty from dinner. And then I've been getting into journaling recently. So I journal a little bit, and then we just moved to Tennessee, and I just recently went to the library and should have done that when we first moved here. So I've got a lot of mystery books, and I've been just going through them.
What's your current read?
I just finished Good Neighbors. Don't ask me who it's by. But it was. Oh no, they were actually. Turns out that title's a lie. They were terrible neighbors. It was such a sad ending. It was a big bummer. But yeah, I could probably finish like 3/4 of a book while he's like doing his thing in here.
I've never seen someone read so quick. I tell you what, I'm not a reader, but she makes it look silly.
I think it looks silly.
It's those smut books.
Oh no, they're not.
Family friendly, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'm not the one reading them.
You're the one that's saying it.
That secret was safe with her until you just spilled it.
Last time he like came over and he's like, "Oh, is it getting spicy yet?" And I was like, "They're literally attending a 6-year-old's funeral right now." And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Ooh.
Less distraction when you get home.
Yeah, and then I gotta take care of our doggos so they don't bark during the podcast or like make too much noise on the Discord.
The real hero.
Mm-hmm. The one behind the scenes.
Yeah,
That's true.
The one behind the scenes, yeah.
it's
We're
work.
the ones that's running this, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Pretty much.
like
Yeah.
who's gonna make sure their fridge is fully stocked for their races?
That would be
Like,
us.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Carl's like, I do that. I do
Oh. Well.
Come on.
I can't drink
If you're getting the dogs in order, get them
Carl
away
just
from there.
lied.
Oh,
Carl just
I
lied
can't
on
get them in
himself.
order right now. I'm literally on a
Ah,
podcast.
Jamie.
Hey, come on.
I just sit in bed and watch Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers is bomb.
That's why my Mazda is called a Maserati.
Yeah,
There's
on
a whole episode where the dentist was like, "No, my Porsche," and then she was like, "What kind of Porsche is that?" And he said, "A Mazda," and then he called it a Maserati. And like he was driving a Mazda, but he called it like so many different things. It's like a luxury vehicle.
Yeah, so on the back of her Miata,
Yeah.
on the back of her Miata for the PowderPuff race, it says Maserati on the back, and then as the license plate, you have the Bob's Burgers family portrait.
That's awesome. So you have Bob's Burgers theme. Ashley, what's your car theme?
Well, this one doesn't do the trading paint, so I have nothing.
It's just a standard iRacing.
What?
Why did
Well-
you say to me, Carl?
You
What?
have one more day to fix this, Carl.
I don't have time, Carl. I don't have time
You better
now.
get it together,
I
Carl.
don't either. I don't either.
I like that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
Do better.
Well,
I don't have the patience for that painting stuff. I don't know how these guys do it. I just don't have the patience
You
for
guys
it.
even have the love for me to figure it out.
I was about to say.
I feel
You're doing this
that
for
though.
him.
I respect that though because I got like super into this and I was like, I'm gonna do my own car, and Steven was like, okay.
Look.
And at first he put it on my iPad. He put the Photoshop on my iPad, and I like accidentally zoomed into the black screen and I couldn't get out of it. And so the car never came to fruition. And then we sat in here for like 30 minutes and I was watching him like mess around with my car, and I mean it was kind of boring to watch, and it was
It's not
very
supposed to be fun.
it was very tedious work. And a few years ago, with like we have a little like racing group message with like our family members that want to watch him race, and he posts the stream, and he put a Google form out, and every week he had like a different car that someone in our families requested, and so he probably made like what 20 paints. Or
my
something like
my
that.
file of paints that I've made over the past couple of years is like over 200.
He was making paint. He was doing like probably 3 or 4 a week. Just that's all he was doing. It was a lot of work.
Wow.
It's fun
Yeah,
when you're
thanks.
doing it.
It is a lot of fun when you're doing it. Like I will say it's one thing that's really nice doing your own paints. Like when I first started, I paid other people to do my paint schemes for me. But I mean, once I started doing my own using SimRap Market to get the wraps, because I can't design a design. That's not me. I can't. I'm not that creative. I think my talent came with like deep diving into the spec mapping and how to manipulate the colors that way.
So
but
the spec mapping is like the chrome versus like
yeah, the matte chrome gloss.
shiny versus not shiny.
Yeah. So, but it's like once you complete a scheme and it like looks amazing that everyone loves, like it's like a self like pride thing. It's like I did that. And I love it. It's beautiful.
Love that for you.
You reminded me of that girl from
Yeah, that came out of your
Despicable
face hole.
Me, where it's like, it's so fluffy. I love it.
It's so shiny. I love it.
But no, each paint is like a little baby.
Hey, Richard, you have William Maddox there shouting you out, asking where you get your paint designs. You
Share
may
the
have to
code.
give you a place to go. Give 'em-
SimRap Market. You can get them from simrapmarket.com. They have a wide selection of wraps from all sorts of cars throughout the whole iRacing service. And you can get 10% off your entire purchase with code WolfXLive.
Hashtag advertisement.
They asked me
Promo
to-
code TheHaulerPodcast.
Nope, stop.
No, it's WolfXLive. You get 10% off.
What is a paint or a template normally like $10?
Yeah, usually the templates, usual paint template is $10. They do have some out there. It's like a decal template they just launched. They launched 3 of them, and they're actually pretty cool. They're $20. It's like a sticker pack. You can basically pick whatever design you want and put it on your car wherever you want. So that's pretty cool. They also have different number fonts you can use. They have smart templates you can use for those that use Adobe. So like dirt track cars are really hard to paint because there is a lot of parts to them. What are you doing? Oh, you're reading the chat.
I can't. It's so small.
It is very. It's at the bottom
like,
too.
They
I don't know
have
how big
smart templates out there to where like you can upload onto Photoshop. You can design basically one set of panels for the car, and it applies it to all the panels. So there's a lot to look at. They even have camera packs in there as well. They've got a huge selection of a whole bunch of stuff. So
I gotta take a
definitely
look at
check
those
them
sticker
out.
packs.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They have 3 of them right now. I did pick up one of them just because I needed to check them out. But yeah, they're great website to pick up. I know a lot of our drivers use SimRap Market. I know Borbell, you've had a few schemes you've used from SimRap.
Oh yeah, it saves a lot of time.
Oh, it saves a mass amount of time.
Yeah.
So
Carl and Ashley are having their own little.
well, yeah.
And then Carl said. And then Ashley went to flick him, and I was like, "Wow, there's a hostile takeover going on."
It's just love.
I get it.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, is there anything else you want to talk
together.
about?
We do need to talk about next week.
We do.
Maybe we can do a quick, like.
I was with
Oh, I
me.
guess we gotta say who we're gonna think might win next week.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let me pull.
I think Steven Borbell 3 is gonna win.
How do you know my
think-
number on there?
It's literally right there.
56 is gonna win. Yeah, I bounced off of that. Yes. Ashley, it's your turn. It's your turn, Ashley.
Oh well, I don't know.
Carl.
I have a tendency
No
to
confidence in your husband at all.
I have a tendency to get to the front and not deliver, so I have a pattern there.
That was
Nice report.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Oh,
Who do you think is gonna win tomorrow? We have nothing
Oh,
to go off
okay.
of.
Yeah, let's go off of
Oh yeah. Okay. So
No, we
can
have
you list?
nobody.
Can you list all the people that are gonna race?
that. I
tomorrow?
can. Give me one
Are we
second.
placing
Y'all
bets?
talk about
Also,
something.
1 penny.
This is not a betting podcast. We cannot give betting advice.
Sports betting is legal in Tennessee,
But
so
it
if
is
we
not
just
legal
start it
everywhere,
here,
so we cannot endorse it.
We're not doing that. Just
guys,
Yeah.
just Venmo me, and I'll take
I
care of the
don't-
rest.
Addison, who are you?
I also don't think YouTube likes it, so
No, this is not.
We're
this
not
is not
doing
betting
that.
advice.
no.
Did you just type in google.com?
I'm going to my Google Drive.
Oh man.
All right.
That was an
PowderPuff
Addison
entry.
move right there.
We have.
oh, just for the record, if nobody knows who isn't part of the league, the PowderPuff race is the Mazda Miatas at Bristol, 100 laps
Thank you.
in the evening. It's gonna be wild. I'll put it that way.
It'll be a spectacle.
No cautions, no card damage. They can wreck as much as they want with no penalty, essentially. Like. it'll be
Heck
fun.
yeah.
Well, like that's not necessarily true. So it says no damage, but if you hit something, you do take damage, and then after a couple seconds, it repairs. So it
Yeah.
still will affect.
It'll be fine. You'll be able to drive away from it. Just don't flip it.
Carl.
If
Just
you
don't
flip it, then you
You're
gotta
If
go
I
to the
flip
pits.
it, I hope it's like screen recorded, because that's pretty cool.
So for tomorrow's PowderPuff race, the entry list that we have right now, not 100% of if everyone will be able to go attend since it did get postponed, is Ashley Pooler, Riley Wolsifer, Addison Morbell, Abigail Maddox, Jessica
Bly.
Bly.
It's like 10 times. Even I know their names, and I
Well, it's
am new
spelled,
here.
it's spelled B-L-E-I-G-H.
Where I'm from, that's Bleh.
Oh,
And
that's
then-
play here too.
Well, and then my middle name is L-E-I-G-H, Blee. That's what it looks like
Your
to
name
me.
You're
My middle name was Lee, and it was spelled L-E-I-G-H, so it looks like Blee.
What?
It's a difficult last
Never
name, and
heard
Dakota,
that.
I am sorry. I'm gonna get it. Come to
No,
me
it's not.
next Tuesday before the race
No,
in
don't
the
worry.
practice
I'll
and
put
tell
a-
it to me. Tell it to me
I'll put a
face to face,
put a
and I will
sticky
get
note.
it. No, I don't need another
put a
sticky
sticky
note on
note
this
right
dang
here.
freaking monitor.
Okay, so who else is on the list?
Oh my god.
Jessica Blee.
Lie.
Why?
Play.
Why?
What do you know?
We literally just discussed this.
You know what's really funny is if you're wrong, because the way
We're
that
not-
Yeah,
He's already
so-
told us it was blind.
No, Dakota.
embarrassing.
On Tuesday, during the practice session, let us know exactly how it's pronounced, and I promise you I'll never get it wrong again because I'll remember that conversation that we have. But
But you won't remember this whole episode.
No, I won't.
Literally messing his name up 4 times in less than 2 minutes.
sorry. Okay, after that, sorry, Jessica. Kylie Stallings, Heather Lee, Julie Buzzio, and Ashlyn Lamb.
Where's Gavin's mom?
Gavin's mother is Heather Lee.
Placed my bets on Heather.
We're not betting. You don't have
Kick
money
us
to
off.
bet.
That's why we said 1 penny. That's what we're
Yeah.
starting.
I'm betting Monopoly money.
Yeah.
But we have
Uh.
a lot of Monopoly.
Yeah, we do.
I
So
feel
glad this is only an annual PowderPuff podcast.
I feel like Ashley is gonna. She's real quiet. I feel like she's just gonna slide in and then just finish, and we're all gonna be wrecked out on lap number 5. That's what I think. And then she's gonna be like 102, 103, and then we're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm still trying to finish lap 5. It's gonna be great. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen.
I
Me
do
and
have
Ashley,
quite
we're
a
just
few
gonna-
laps of practice.
That's true. You do have a decent amount of practice.
I just feel like it's best if I wing it.
Close to 400.
I think I vote Julie is gonna be the sleepiest one. She's gonna be like, I have to go to bed, guys.
On a Friday night.
Just stand there like this.
Like-
Well, you know, I'm just gonna talk for a few minutes, but I am gonna go to bed. That's funny.
Richard, Carl, who are y'all's bets?
But we're not betting.
That's why I did the quotations.
Well, she did a wonderful job at practice, and I decided to lower the force feedback on my wheel this time. She has her own profile with my Sim Experience wheel, so
Did you fix the shifter?
Yes, I fixed the shift.
You know, he hot glued that before I got on it.
Oh, so you didn't break
Yes,
it.
No, not
all
before.
week he's
No,
been like,
2
"Where's the
days
super
before.
glue?"
2 days before.
Whatever.
It had been super glued for 2 days. Super glued.
I
And she literally first shift, she's snap. I'm like,
First of all, I
I
am
literally just ran 10 laps, no problem.
It's not a
I
parking
and you
brake.
come in,
Dainty.
shift one time, and snap. I'm like,
I am a dainty dandelion. That is not how that happened. Okay,
You know how
he is
happened in the first
literally
place.
over exaggerating.
she's a bull in a China.
I just hear like in my headphones, stop telling me how to drive. You broke my shifter.
Also, yeah, this girl, we all know because we all practiced it. You can drive full throttle in the Miatas around Bristol. She is 50% throttle, and everyone's driving. Like, what are you doing? Like, I decided to put my foot on the pedal and just pushed it down. I'm like, go!
And I was trying to get my bearings. I'm not Ashley. I'm not a professional. I do not have 400 laps under my belt. I barely have 3.
And then I
okay?
shared pictures of how she was holding the wheel. She was holding it like this at one point, like steering like this, trying to get it to turn.
At least she was
Listen,
shifting.
I drive a Honda Element, okay? And
No, you don't drive a Dodge Ram.
Okay, well now I do. But my car that I was driving literally 2 weeks ago is a Honda Element. I've been driving this car for 11 years. Power steering has been out of this thing for a million years. So when I have to pull out of my driveway and the thing locks up, I have to do it. So it's just out of habit. When the power steering goes out, get a vice
Lock
grip.
in.
Seriously. It works every time, and that's why I'm so much stronger than Richard.
Ooh.
Just kidding.
I would second that.
You're, oh, thank you.
I mean, Richard can't even fix power steering, so yeah, there's something here. I think we need to investigate.
No, I just choose not to.
Oh, that's fair.
You know what, Ashley? Carl doesn't love you enough, and neither does Richard. He don't love me either.
Ooh.
He won't make-
hard.
Wait. Gavin wants y'all to arm wrestle.
All right, let's go. Come on.
Here we go.
Oh God. Okay. Ready, set, go. Power steering.
All right, we have it here. Chat,
saw it here first.
Clip that.
Who cares that he's been dying of a mysterious disease for the last 2 months? That's semantics. We don't need
You
to know
should be
about
used to that by now. Come on.
that. Yeah, that's why I'm stronger than him.
What?
I can't do this again, Richard.
You knocked it again.
You cannot.
I caught it this
You
time!
have to do something about this, Richard.
It didn't do anything that time.
This is what it sounded like during practice a couple weeks ago.
It's true. It's very true, actually. Damn it, Richard!
My shifter!
Oh,
And he's
man.
and he's yelling at me the whole time, and I was like, "You're stressing me out. Will you shut up?"
Because I was sitting here, Carl was in the other room, and I could hear all these other guys being backseat drivers.
Yes.
Carl was being a good boy sitting in the other room.
I have
and
to
all
say,
of us. Yeah.
I have to say, Adam was like such a good teacher to Julie,
Well,
and he
Julie's
was
never driven a car before.
well, no, but like he was
Wait, like
really.
in real life?
Yeah, I know.
She's currently
Lizzie never
learning.
drive-
She's
she's gotta
currently
learn.
getting her driver's license, and so she was like really nervous, and you could tell he wanted to be like Richard of like drive, just go, my shooter, and he would be like, Julie, honey, you're doing a good job, but just like go a little bit faster. You go up this wall a little bit more. You can do it. Good job. And he was like,
You're
just.
not gonna get hurt.
You're like, I don't know. You've been driving for 11 years of your life. I expect you to know how to throttle it.
I mean, I was doing great.
You were doing fantastic. I'm not taking that away from you. I'm just saying there are some
He was on the
pointers.
phone with his sister while I was practicing.
He was doing what with his sister?
He was
Say
on
that
the.
Oh, wow! What, Riley!
I missed.
Um,
Didn't hear what he said.
I know you're like legally deaf, but come on now.
He
Sorry,
was,
get closer
he
to
was,
the mic.
he was just talking. He was just talking with his sisters, like, "Oh, my wife's racing.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, anyways, what's up?" And
I gave you some peace and let you try to figure it out on your own, and then I came and tried to give you some pointers.
He was like, it's all wrong.
You ain't first or last. Oh wait, sorry, we hate that movie.
What?
Oh, Rich. Oh,
I don't.
everybody hated.
I don't like Will Ferrell.
Well, now I
I
feel
Wow.
bad.
agree with you there, Richard.
I don't like
I'm not a
Will
fan.
Wow.
I am not a fan. I did not care for that movie.
Wow,
Steven said
I-
literally last night, he said that's his comfort movie.
I love that.
Days of Thunder.
There you go.
It's just,
Ford
I don't
versus
know.
Ferrari.
But Will
I haven't
Ferrell.
seen that yet.
I
But
do
Will
need to
Ferrell's
watch that.
awesome.
It's on,
Ford versus Ferrari is a really good one. You're missing out.
I've heard really
Wait,
good
is
things
that the
about
one with the dead dog?
No, that's
No,
how
that's
to
Marley
Oh,
and
we
Me.
don't like that movie.
Oh,
Right. Like that
that's how to
movie
drive in
either.
the rain. I
Mm.
race in the rain or some shit.
I lost so much water weight watching that movie. Absolutely.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
not watching that again.
As a veterinarian, I just made it a rule to never watch dog movies. They
Oh, that's
always
my
end
rule.
up in tears.
As
Always.
a dog
I-
owner.
The movie How to Drive in the Rain, it literally tells you the end of the movie in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and who cares? Because you're sad the whole time.
Yeah,
It's like
You
Up.
spend the rest of the time
The
crying.
rest of the movie, you're like, I know how this movie's gonna end. This sucks. Like, this dog's having this nice, happy life, but I know how it's going to end. Like, why?
Yeah. And now I have depression.
I loved the
I-
Beethoven movies growing up, and I watched the first one like a few months ago, and it is very dark. It is about a twisted veterinarian trying to kill Beethoven for money. And I was like, the whole time I was like, this was a children's movie, and I was like obsessed with it, and I had no recollection of the bad guy veterinarian, and I was like, I just
Oh,
don't
you should
think.
have voted yes. What's wrong with? I'm sorry, Addison. I forgot.
Oh,
this.
what is the poll?
It's like a vote thing. I didn't get a vote. Yes,
Yeah, you're on my
Talladega
YouTube.
Nights.
No.
Talladega
No.
Nights. Isn't it my
Thank you.
YouTube?
No, it's actually mine. This is...
Rigged vote going
It
on.
is a rigged vote because I am not allowed to vote. I can create a poll,
Yeah,
but I
what the
can't
heck?
vote.
Somebody vote for
Oh,
Riley.
man.
Yes, Talladega Nights.
I don't know. I'm flabbergasted that you don't like Will
I
Ferrell.
think Cars is the best racing movie.
Oh, I guess that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Okay, Cars. Yeah.
Cars is a good
He
one.
literally taught me how to be a race car.
On dirt.
You gotta turn right to go left.
Yeah, you turn right to go left.
I guess that's where Richard learned how to dirt race.
Yeah.
But I'm a fluffy cloud.
I grew up with a man.
Doc Hudson was your Miyagi.
No, Zach, I am not going to run a John Gerard scheme. I did, however, in a previous league, I did obviously like the standard, Ricky Bobby scheme at Talladega when we opened the season, and I won with the scheme, but I haven't run it since.
Is that the Wonder Bread one?
That was the Wonder Bread one.
My dad did that
Yes,
one.
he did do that
It's
one.
not a real scheme for Wonder Bread and Ricky Bobby's. He put Fig Newtons on the windshield.
Well, okay, I'm sorry that Photoshop and iRacing do not allow me to put decals in an inconvenient place. But
It's not his fault.
maybe I will do it
man.
this year. We'll see. I'll come up with something. I don't want to be too basic with it, but maybe. Ooh, the laughing clown car. I feel like no one does that. The one from like the beginning scene of the race.
Yeah, that's true.
Creepy.
Laughing car.
Ooh, do like one of the ones from like those commercials.
If you don't
That
chew
is-
Big Red,
Big
then
red gum. Then... Wing chow, they chow.
see, you don't like the
See?
movie, but you can quote
I
it.
know
like-
everything about it because I've seen it multiple times, but it's a terrible movie. Like, it's not that I don't. It's not that I don't like it. Like, I enjoy watching it when it's on, but it's not a good movie.
It doesn't
It's
make
so
any
bad.
sense.
Oh, have you guys seen Logan Lucky?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You guys gotta watch that one. That has Channing Tatum and Adam Driver in it.
I mean,
And
where is
yeah,
it? Where do I find
say
it?
less.
I think we watched it on Prime one time.
I think it's on Prime that they steal, like they rob Charlotte Motor Speedway.
They rob a Charlotte.
Oh,
No,
I've
they
heard
rob-
about that. I know
yeah,
what
they
you're talking
rob
about.
they
Like
rob
the-
Charlotte
the
Motor
vault in
Speedway.
Charlotte
I
Motor
have seen.
Speedway.
I haven't seen the movie, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is a very good one. But
What do they rob from Charlotte Motor Speedway?
it's like
All the
the
money.
vault where everything like gets sent through tubes like
I-
a bank, like
Oh,
into this
I-
vault.
Yeah, I
This
think
is
when
like
it's
Fast
during
and
the
Furious, but NASCAR
600.
edition?
Yeah, it's like during the
Oceans.
600, and they try
The
to steal it. It's like a
NASCAR
heist movie.
So it's a
and-
redneck version of the Italian Job.
Redneck Ocean's 11.
Yeah,
Ocean's
that-
11. Okay, much
Yeah.
better.
It's a great movie.
Let's watch it.
What? Oh, where they were just I'm here. By the
What?
way. I missed what he said, and then anyway.
Literally, we're talking about the movie, and I look at her, I was like, "We gotta watch that." She goes, "Watch what?"
She's thinking about Adam Driver.
I was.
As long as Miles Teller isn't in it.
Oh my god. I'd love he has to be in it if I'm gonna never mind, forget it. That's my favorite. Don't say that. Don't say that. Or Michael B. Jordan. I'd watch anything with him in it.
All right, we're getting a little detoured here.
Oh, that's fine. That's what we were supposed
It's
to do.
called the PowderPuff Podcast.
No, it's the PowderPuff Takeover.
The PowderPuff Takeover is what it is.
I don't know. We'll
This is the biggest
If it's-
mistake we've ever made.
if it's a takeover, we'll call it whatever we want to call it.
Oh
Right?
my god. That's a good point.
Oh, the
Powder
estrogen
Puff
takeover.
Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
But on to next Tuesday. We
my
can get
God.
sidetracked here in a
Takeover's
minute.
over.
We
We're
can get
done.
sidetracked one more
Yeah.
time, and we will get there. But we got to get through this.
We gotta get through this. It is almost 11.
It is almost.
I know, I've
11.
been
I
trying
know.
to
I got work in the
You
morning.
do have work in
I
the
know.
morning.
Some of us have 9 to 5s.
Yeah, some of us do.
Some of us even have a 8:30.
Some
I
9
have
to
an
6s.
8 to 4.
I work from home.
Shut up.
High five.
This
High
guy.
five!
All right.
Doorbell's still looking.
I'm working from home until the end of this month.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot.
Yes. But next week we are at Legacy Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Roosters Market 250. 165 laps. Stages are lap 40, lap 80, and then to the end lap 165. Legacy Atlanta is a lot like Legacy Texas in some ways. It's super slick. It's fast. You can probably be on the throttle a little bit more than at Texas. So more slick than anything, especially coming out of those corners. It's going to be a lot of fun. Not as hectic as a current Atlanta Super Speedway sort of situation, but still definitely a good time. Keys of the race, Carl, Richard, go.
It's bumpy. Legacy Atlanta is bumpy. It is a worn-out track, and tire saving will be key. So if you can handle a loose car on a warm surface over a bumpy asphalt kind of cheese grater, as it were, you can thrive.
It's terrible to drive.
Tires. Tires are the biggest thing. That is. Tires, man. Tires are the biggest thing. It's like you can be fast all you want at Atlanta, but the faster you are, the more those tires wear, and those people that are saving tires, not as fast, are going to catch you a lot quicker than you think they will. I mean, we experienced that, season 3 of our last league, and it's a blast of a track. It could be a lot of fun, but you don't take care of those tires, you're in for some pain.
But remember, the most important part is
Spaghetti.
getting hyped
Mom's
with
spaghetti.
mom's
Yep.
spaghetti before your race. Build that
Turn
confidence.
right.
We will play it in
To
the
go
team
left.
chat before the race starts to get
Good
hyped.
chow.
As long as there's not vomit on your
Steven?
sweater already.
Yeah.
Your pointers for the race.
I don't have any pointers. Just drive fast, turn left, keep the car under you. Don't let it get out from under you. I wouldn't worry about the tires as much,
Yes,
personally.
certain track.
I know tires are going to be a big deal, but
Don't get loose.
you're going to get loose, but you're going to be fine. Keep
And
the confidence in it, and
drive
yeah.
the car.
drive the car. Don't wreck.
I like Jamie Plord out there. Watch the outside line. There's a magnet in that wall, and you know what? He's onto something, because you get up that wall, it just sucks you in, and it's over.
Mhm.
It just, there's no getting off it, and that's
He's onto
what
something. He's
sucks.
onto the wall if you're too high.
Exactly.
Boom.
Haha.
Boom. Tomato, tomato.
All right, picks for next week. Look, who's our picks for next week?
Carl, you go.
Oh, my pick. You know what? I picked on him earlier. I'm going to pick on him for good now. Johnny Wood.
Ah.
He has, yeah. He's definitely come through, and ton of speed. Texas, he was up front. He was up front at Chicago. He was up front at New Hampshire, and it's only a matter of time for him to get one of those wins. So Johnny Wood's my pick for next week.
Fair enough. Richard.
Oh man, I think he's going to be driving mad coming out of New Hampshire. I think he had a win that slipped through his fingers there, coming in second. But I'm going to say Adam. I feel he's going to be driving with a purpose come Tuesday, especially missing this week. I think Adam's going to be hunting down for that victory lane for the first time this season. I believe first time this season.
Yep. It would
So
be his first one.
I think he's little not too thrilled. I feel like he should have had a win or two already, and he's missing that sticker over by his name. Man, I think Adam could easily pull this off.
We made the job
I don't know.
difficult for Steven here.
It depends. Is Gavin going to be racing?
He hinted that he might be earlier, so
If
there's
Gavin's
that
racing, that's my
possibility.
pick. Doesn't matter where we are. Gavin can win them all.
Can we just take Gavin off the list?
All right, fine. That's a cop out. Fine.
No offense to Gavin, we love you, dude. Every single one of us would pick you if we could. But it's just you're that fucking you're an instant pick basically almost any track we go to.
Mile and a half. I don't want to pick someone that's already won. You know what? Brendan Maddox. He showed some promise at Texas with the speed at mile and a halfs, and with it being somewhat of a similar track, maybe it translates over. That's all I have to go on.
That's not a bad pick though, and
Yeah, that's a good pick.
I think Brendan is also thinking along the lines as Richard is. He's going to be driving angry. He definitely thinks that he should have won Texas. He was in that spot and he just missed out. So I think Brendan's going to drive a little more motivated this week.
Yeah, let's just hope he doesn't take himself out of how motivated he is. So
Or,
there is
either of us.
too hype. You can get hype, and then there's getting too hype.
That is true.
Overdriving the car is a thing.
Yes, Richard does it
Yes.
weekly.
Hey,
Oh, I'm really gonna need to get that aloe. Addison, do you have a pick?
If it's not Steven, I don't know, Gavin pretty much won. He pretty much won every single time last season.
Thanks for reminding us.
yeah.
I don't know,
Love you, Gavin.
I hate to say it, but it's game over for you guys if he shows up on Tuesday.
Carl, team orders, take out Gavin.
Oh man. The thing is I take out myself at the same time, and I don't want to do that.
What's new?
Oh,
I'm
boo.
kidding. You always take me out. That's the.
Oh Lord. Well, I think that Carl is gonna put Ashley in, and then she's gonna win. That's what I think.
Ooh.
Right.
But it'll be under Carl's name, is what I think. So
A tag
I'm
team
know what,
not-
race.
I'm not
Oh,
betting,
man.
but if I was a betting man,
Mm.
it'd be under Ashley.
I think Richard would have more concerns if you were a betting man than that. So.
Family friendly.
Oh no! Actually, it's funny. Ashley's been talking to me funny if she won this PowderPuff race because then she's throwing my face. Huh? You still haven't won, babe.
Oh my gosh, she was saying that. She was like, coming from the guy who hasn't won a race.
That's hilarious.
We should get into. I feel like all the girls should just get together and then we really just wreck it up, and then Ashley can just win. That way she can have it. That's fine.
It's called a
Oh,
team
no.
sport.
Yes.
So
we
it's
are
not a-
working
Hit the ball and
The
I
first
wreck
cooler.
myself up.
Queens
The first
lifting
cooler to win a
queens.
race gets to name the baby.
Oh, the baby's
Oh.
the baby's named.
Oh, okay.
Well, listen. Queens lifting queens. Let's do it.
There we go.
I'm in. I'm in.
We're gonna have to get another set of steering wheels and stuff
We got
in
another one.
the rooms and all that.
You got to get a PC.
Oh, jeez.
I have
Oh,
a
no.
laptop
Really here
that
for that.
overheats.
my laptop has to be on the charger at all times.
can
Mine
make room.
doesn't, but I got a good
Where?
25 minutes without the charger.
Oh dang!
And I have to. Is it not plugged in?
Can't go in the
Cat's laying on
nursery.
your computer.
It's warm.
Yeah, he's keeping it warm.
Yeah, it's not like it needs it. If I play Dreamlight Valley on it, I mean, it'll burn your skin right off. You gotta put it on a vented, great thing. Yeah. Anyway.
Technical talk with Riley.
Yeah. I know what I'm talking about. Y'all are the ones that don't get it.
Welcome to Tech Time with Riley.
Richard is our jingle guy.
It's true. He jingles all over this house. I don't know why I said that.
Call him
Let me
Santa
start that.
Claus.
Hold on.
Sounded
I don't like the
family
way I
friendly,
said
Riley.
Hold on, wait. He just
Got a little change in
Hey.
my pocket going jangle lang Gonna call you on the
Not
telephone,
sure
baby.
that's where that was
Gonna
going,
give
Carl,
you
but it's
a
okay.
we'll just be the dogs will just be fighting or something, like they'll be wrestling, and then Richard will have some kind of jingle that he comes up with to some kind of song. He likes to take a song and then reword it to whatever's going on in their life. And then he does it and he looks at me like this. You like that one? I'm like, somebody get him a Spotify playlist. Call the record company.
I mean, if it blew up, then I wouldn't have to work and you wouldn't have to work. So I don't know why you're complaining.
She's complaining because it hasn't worked yet.
Yeah, that's
Get
what
to
I'm
work,
Because I haven't
Richard.
tried. I do it just for stupidity. Like, that's all I do it for. Then again, Weird Al made it work. Maybe I can.
True.
You got Weird Al and you got Strange Richard.
And on his album, he could not wear his hat and just have his hair puffed up like Marvin. Have you seen his hair?
Boy.
Have you seen his hair when he puffs it out?
Me?
Yes, I'm talking about.
I can't do that right now.
Yep.
You know why I can't do that
We'll
right
call
now.
him. We'll call him Mangy Wolf. How about that?
Look, hold on. It's.
Oh, yeah,
it's-
it's Mangy Wolf right there.
Okay, he
Not
looks
Strange
like.
Richard, Mangy Wolf.
Mad
Have you ever seen-
scientist.
Have you ever seen Christmas Vacation? Or not? Was it
Home Alone. I look like Marv.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I see it.
When my hair gets longer again, I will not cut it and I will make myself look like Marv.
He got a helmet head.
I can grow an afro and a mullet at the same time.
It's
impressive.
weird
That's
because
frightening.
the bottom half of his hair is straight and the top half is curly. It
I literally
really
can have a
is.
rat tail mullet type on the back, and
It's-
then the top of my head will just fro.
It's not a party in the front or the
It's,
back.
it's a party all around.
It's- I don't know if that's.
I used to call it the frolet. It never really caught on, but
I don't blame it. That's terrible.
don't either, man. I feel like I just need to take it to take an El Camino and design it like disco times, and it'd be like
Oh, man. Oh Jesus.
got a disco ball coming or hanging off the fuzzy seat covers.
Oh Lord.
A mini disco ball hanging from the mirror.
Okay, I'm done.
Hmm.
Someone fire me, please. I don't have to do this anymore.
Lord of-
How we fired you 3 years ago.
I haven't been on racing but 2. What are you talking about?
Ooh. You're gonna need an ice
I was
pack.
fired before I got started.
I
Right?
feel like the zingers just keep on coming.
Oh, just another BRB Holler podcast.
It is.
I love
Is that what you want to call this at this point?
Is there anything else y'all want to discuss? 'Cause if so, I have to go let the dogs out.
Do you guys have a
You let the dogs
cool
out.
sign off?
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go let the dogs out.
Do you guys have a cool sign off?
Do we look like we have a cool sign off?
Well, let's make one right now.
Alright,
Yeah.
go for it.
We're gonna do it
Oh.
right now. We're gonna sign off right now.
No, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Nope.
You got it. You're the host.
Okay.
Oh,
So
or we could, I was about to say, do you just want to kick the guys out and we'll do the sign off?
There you go.
okay,
There you
goodbye.
go.
Leave.
I don't trust
Oh
them.
wait, you gotta
Well,
teach
don't-
me how to end it though.
So,
We could just all do the sign off.
whenever y'all are done,
What is?
hit
what is the
that
sign-off?
button.
Okay.
And then it
Rev,
might
I
ask
think
you
next
another
week we'll
question,
try and
and
hit
you wanna
NASCAR news
confirm
again.
it.
Okay.
We're already a little 2 hours in, and these we're going off track here. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
we need to go to bed.
We are Mr. Borbell is signing off, and we'll end this right now. What is the cool little sign off jingle or something you guys have?
All right, Richard, do your job. Somebody fire him already.
Okay, fine. All right, I'll do it.
It has to pertain to your podcast. Pass.
Buckle it up. Buckle it up. Buckle it up, or you'll
Or you'll
die.
die. Bob's Burgers. That's what they sing when they click it.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Okay.
that's a good sign off. We should all just do that.
Because
We
now
gotta
you gotta buckle up.
This
Okay.
is BRB, everybody. Thank you for coming. Sing our theme song with
Okay.
us.
You're gonna sing the
Buckle
theme
it up.
song.
Buckle
Ready?
it up.
Hold on. We gotta
Ready?
teach Stephen Borbell.
Okay.
All right. I said your whole name. I'm sorry. We gotta teach Stephen Borbell. Okay, so it's the. Have you heard the "Buckle It Up" song by Bob's Burgers? You ready, Carl? 3, 2,
Oh, I'm ready.
1. Oh.
Buckle it up. Buckle it up.
Buckle it up.
Buckle it up,
Buckle
or
it
you'll
up, or you'll
die.
Okay, I have it. It's gonna be perfect. So,
All right.
like, Carl, you do the first one. Steven, you do the second one. Rich, you do the last one, and then you all do it together.
Harmoniously, or you'll die. So this is everybody signing off. Congratulations for sitting with us for 2 and some odd hours
1 hour and
of this
51 minutes.
amazing,
We're not at 2 hours yet.
for not 2 hours, for this amazing podcast. And remember, everybody, and then Carl, 3.
Buckle it up.
Buckle it up.
Buckle it up,
Or you'll die.
Fade to black.
We'll work on
Congratulations,
that.
everyone.
Fade to
The ladies, the PowderPuff. Said I'm dead. And we're live. Thank you, everybody, for that quick break or whatever they say. Sorry for the interruption, but that's how we do it. And you have new producers, the PowderPuff producers, PPP, if you will. And
Oh, the quadruple P powder puff perfect professional producers.
professional producers. You could stick with perfect too, or it could be the 5 Ps.
Oh, goodness.
PowderPuff perfect. What was the other one?
Professional
Professional
producer.
What's that part of our podcast?
We're going really.
Oh,
Oh, there's 6
wait, hold on.
P's.
So many
We
P's.
got 6 Ps. PowderPuff perfect professional producer podcasters. You're welcome. And that's how we do it, everybody.
Okay.
All right, did y'all close it out though? Did y'all do the
Rhyme
buckle it
for
up thing?
printing.
Are we done?
Do y'all
All
need
right,
to do
that
the
was
buckle
the
it
test
up?
run. Yes,
Okay.
that was the test run. You ready?
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to this podcast for not 2 hours. It was great to see you. I'm not part of this podcast usually. I don't know why I took over like I did. And also,
Control issues.
it's true. Anyway, we don't need to talk about it. Anyway, so thank you for everybody. And ready, Carl?
Buckle it up.
Buckle it up.
Buckle it up.
Or you'll die.
Fade to black.